Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today I have a book haul for you. So it is about time that I do another book haul because I haven't done one in about 2 months, I think. So I've acquired quite a few books and I thought I'd let you know about all of them. So there are a few different categories here. We've got Book of the Month books. We've got some I found in free little libraries. We've got some that I have borrowed from people. Got some that I purchased. And then we have some Kindle books I thought I could let you know about. So let's just jump right in with the Book of the Month books. So my book for September was Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This one says Bee's theory was right. Forcing a scientist to work with her nemesis triggers explosive results. Like an avenging purple-haired Jedi bringing balance to the mansplained universe, Bee Konigswasser, that's quite the last name, lives by a simple code. What would Marie Curie do? If NASA offered Marie her dream neuroengineering project, she would accept without hesitation. Duh. But the mother of modern physics never had to co-lead with Levi Ward. Sure, Levi has soul-piercing eyes, and sure, he caught her in his powerfully corded arms like a romance novel hero when she accidentally damseled in distress on her first day in the lab. But Levi made his feelings toward Bee clear in grad school. Arch enemies work best when employed in their own galaxies far, far away. Now her equipment is missing, the staff ignores her, and Bee finds her floundering career in somewhat of a pickle. Perhaps it's her occipital cortex playing tricks on her, but Bee could swear she can see Levi softening into an ally, backing her plays, devouring her with those eyes. And the possibilities have all her neurons firing. But when it comes time to actually make a move and put her heart on the line, there's only one question that matters. What will Bee Konigswasser do? So I picked this one because I loved The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, and I'm hoping I enjoy this one just as much. Then for October, I picked As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Katu, and this was a YA pick, actually. And this says, "This is my land, and just like the lemon trees that have been growing here for centuries, spilled blood won't stop us." Salama Kassab was a pharmacy student when the cries for freedom broke out in Syria. She still had her parents and her big brother. She still had her home and an average teenager's life. Now Salama volunteers at a hospital in Homs, helping the wounded who flood through the doors daily. Secretly, though, she is desperate to find a way out of her beloved country before her best friend and sister-in-law, Layla, gives birth. As her desperation grows, her PTSD takes physical shape in the form of companion Quaff, who haunts her every move. But even with Quaff pressing her to leave, Salama is torn between loyalty to her country and her will to survive. Salama must contend with bullets and bombs, military assaults, and her shifting sense of morality before she might finally breathe free. And when she crosses paths with the boy she was supposed to meet one fateful day, she starts to doubt her resolve in leaving home at all. Salama must learn to see the events around her for what they truly are, not a war, but a revolution, and decide how she, too, will cry for Syria's freedom. Perfect for fans of The Book Thief and Salt to the Sea, this stunning speculative debut burns with the fires of hope, romance, and possibility, a love letter to Syria and its people. This one sounds phenomenal. I am really excited to pick it up. And lastly, my November pick is Someday Maybe by Onye Nwabeneli. And I picked this one solely because I wanted a book that would make me cry. And this one sounds like it would make me cry. Here's a synopsis. Here are 3 things you should know about my husband. 1, he was the great love of my life despite his penchant for going incommunicado. 2, he was, as far as I and everyone else could tell, perfectly happy, which is significant because 3, on New Year's Eve, he killed himself. And here is one thing you should know about me. 1, I found him. Bonus fact, no, I am not okay. So I don't know. I have really been wanting to just read a book that makes me feel something significant. And so I thought this one sounded like it could do that for me. So that was my November book of the month pick. Then moving on to some other books that I purchased. The first is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Got it for $5 at Friends of the Library sale. This is how you find yourself. There's a voice of longing inside each of us. We strive so mightily to be good. Good partners, daughters, mothers, employees, and friends. We hope all this striving will make us feel alive. Instead, it leaves us feeling weary, stuck, overwhelmed, and underwhelmed. We look at our lives and wonder, wasn't it all supposed to be more beautiful than this? We quickly silence that question, telling ourselves to be grateful, hiding our discontent even from ourselves. For many years, Glennon Doyle denied her own discontent. Then, while speaking at a conference, she looked at a woman across the room and fell instantly in love. 3 words flooded her mind. There she is. At first, Glennon assumed these words came to her from on high, but she soon realized they had come to her from within. This is her own voice, the one she had buried beneath decades of numbing addictions, cultural conditioning, and institutional allegiances. This was the voice of the girl she had been before the world told her who to be. Glennon decided to quit abandoning herself and to instead abandon the world's expectations of her. She quit being good so she could be free. She quit pleasing and started living. So, first of all, I really love this sparkly cover, but I heard that it is a great book for women to read, especially just about realizing who they are and who they can be. So, that one I'm actually currently reading, so I'm about a third of the way, fourth of the way in. It's pretty good so far. I'm taking a break from it right now, but it's good. And then another one I got on Pango. My first Pango purchase was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This one I feel like needs no introduction on BookTube, but nevertheless, I will read the synopsis. It says, a tale of gods and goddesses, kings and queens, immortal fame, and the human heart. Achilles, the best of the Greeks, son of the cruel sea goddess Thetis and the legendary king Peleus, is strong, swift, and beautiful, irresistible to all who meet him. Patroclus is an awkward young prince exiled from his homeland after an act of shocking violence. Brought together by chance, they forge an inseparable bond despite risking the god's wrath. They are trained by the centaur Chiron in the arts of war and medicine, but when word comes that Helen of Sparta has been kidnapped, all the heroes of Greece are called upon to lay siege to Troy in her name. Seduced by the promise of a glorious destiny, Achilles joins their cause, and torn between love and fear for his friend, Patroclus follows. Little do they know that the cruel fates will test them both as never before and demand a terrible sacrifice. I've heard that this one just makes you sob also. I've read Madeline Miller's Circe and I really enjoyed it. So looking forward to picking this one up soon. Okay, some awesome little free library finds. One that I have already read before but really wanted a copy of is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. Everything she writes has been 5 stars for me so far that I've read. This one is about our title character, Evelyn Hugo. She is telling her story to a news reporter, and she does that through stories of her life with each of her husbands. She's had 7 of them. So really, really good story, and I'm very happy to have a copy on my shelves. The next one I found is called The Good Sister by Sally Hepworth. I have read The Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth, and I enjoyed it. It was a good thriller, and so I thought I would give Sally Hepworth's thriller another try. This one says, 2 sisters, 1 truth, but which of them knows it? Fern Castle works in her local library. Dream job. She has dinner with her twin sister, Rose, 3 nights a week, and she avoids crowds, bright lights, and loud noises as much as possible. Fern has a carefully structured life, and disrupting her routine can be dangerous. When Rose discovers that she cannot get pregnant, Fern sees her chance to pay her sister back for everything Rose has done for her. Fern can have a baby for Rose. She just needs to find a father. Simple. Fern's mission will shake the foundations of the life she has carefully built for herself and stir up dark secrets from the past in this quirky, rich, and shocking story of unexpected love. So this does not sound like a thriller, but on the front it says a stunningly clever thriller, and everyone has a dark side. So It's got to be a thriller, but on the back it makes it sound like it's a lovely story about one sister helping her other sister have a baby. So I don't know. Sounds intriguing. That'll be fun. And then some books that were lent to me by my mom/sister. My mom doesn't know where she got them from. I know that this one's from my sister, but she doesn't know where this one's from. So they're from my mom, kind of. Anyway, I have heard everywhere about Finlay Donovan is Killing It by El Cosimano. This one, I know the synopsis because I know so many people who have read it. This is about Finlay Donovan, who is overheard in like a Panera that she would do anything to kill this person, and someone misconstrues what she was saying and thinks that she's a killer for hire. So, and I think she's in enough of a financial hardship that she takes the lady up on her offer. Anyway, I've heard really great things about this series and I'm looking forward to trying it out. And then also from my mother/sister is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. I recently read The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang and loved it. So this one is a woman struggling with burnout this one says a woman struggling with burnout learns to embrace the unexpected, and the man she enlists to help her in this heartfelt new romance by best-selling author Helen Huang. Oh, looks like it's about music a little bit. The main character is a violinist. Her name is Anna. She accidentally achieves career success with a viral YouTube video. She finds herself incapacitated and burned out from her attempts to replace that moment. And when her longtime boyfriend announces that he wants an open relationship before making a final commitment, a hurt and angry Anna decides if he wants an open relationship, then she does too. Translation, she's going to embark on a string of one-night stands. The more unacceptable the man, the better. That sounds fun. I really enjoyed The Kiss Quotient. It was a really fun romance, and so this one sounds like it will be too. Then the last set of books I need to go over are the books I purchased on Kindle. So I will put pictures of them up here, and I will read the synopsis directly from Goodreads. Here we go. So the first one I got is Don't Overthink It. Make easier decisions, stop second guessing, and bring more joy to your life. And this is by Anne Bogle. I love Anne Bogle. I've listened to her podcast, What Should I Read Next? And I subscribe to her newsletter. She's awesome. I wish I could be her and have her job. Sounds like the dream. Anyway, so this book says, we've all been there, stuck in a cycle of what ifs, plagued by indecision, paralyzed by the fear of getting it wrong. Nobody wants to live a life of constant overthinking, but it doesn't feel like something we can choose to stop doing. It feels like something we're wired to do, something we just can't escape. But is it? Anne Bogle's answer is no. Not only can you overcome negative thought patterns that are repetitive, unhealthy, and unhelpful, you can replace them with positive thought patterns that will bring more peace, joy, and love into your life. In Don't Overthink It, you'll find actionable strategies that can make an immediate and lasting difference in how you deal with questions both small, should I buy these flowers, and large, what am I doing with my life? More than a book about making good decisions, Don't Overthink It offers you a framework for making choices you'll be comfortable with, using an appropriate amount of energy, freeing you to focus on all of the other stuff that matters in life. So this sounds like a great book to refocus on what is important and how not to overthink things, which I tend to do. So that's that book. Then I got a little duology, a little duet for free. I got Farm to Mabel and Horn of Plenty by Krista Sandor. And I'll just read the synopsis for Farm to Mabel. But before I do that, I should just say I got these books because Mabel is in the title, and that is my daughter's name. So that's purely the only reason I got this book. So I think this is actually the first time I'll be reading the synopsis along with you. So here we go. Fashion fanatic Mabel Muldowney loathes every part of her life in a farm town. And worst of all is her brother's best friend, the infuriatingly broody Cal Horner. The man makes her want to spit nails. What's an aspiring fashionista stuck in the sticks to do? fly the coop, and head to the city. Success in the world of haute couture is within her grasp when a scandalous secret takes her down. Now there's nowhere left to go but back to the one place she doesn't want to be, the farm. But the town is in trouble, big financial trouble, and Mabel's got the skills to help. The kicker, she'll have to work with Cal if she wants to get paid. If the town makes a profit, she will too. It's her one-way ticket off the farm. But the longer she's home, the harder it is to resist Cal's tantalizing kisses. Will Cal's warm embrace persuade her to stay, or will the temptation of her big city dreams be too hard to ignore? Sounds like a semi-cute romance with a cool named character, Mabel. Okay, the next one I think I also got for free is called The Billionaire's Wake-Up Call Girl by Annika Martin. That title does not roll off the tongue whatsoever. The Billionaire's Wake-Up Call Girl. Anyway, here's what it's about. When my manager assigns me the task of finding a new wake-up call service for our CEO, I think, how hard can this be? Answer, practically impossible. It turns out that no wake-up call company in the world will take him on as a client. They've all had enough of his surly personality. So in an effort not to lose my job, I secretly start making the calls myself, every day at 4:30 a.m. sharp. OMG, yes, you read that right, 4:30 in the morning. Confession, I'm not the nicest wake-up call girl at that hour. Hello, who wakes up before the roosters are even crowing? Luckily, he doesn't seem to mind my get your ass out of bed attitude. Day by day, we're becoming closer, and the calls start turning hot, like pay by the minute hot and oh so wild. Snuggled under the covers with the moonlight streaming in the windows, we divulge our secrets to each other. But the one thing that he can never find out is that the sexy vixen who wakes him up every morning is just the lowly assistant who wears frumpy dresses. I can only imagine his disappointment. Now he wants to take me out on a date, and he's scouring Manhattan to find me. He's an overachieving billionaire bent on a mission. How much longer can I keep up this charade? So again, sounds like a fun romance with a little bit of steam. So those are always enjoyable. The next one I got, again, I think for free. Most of my Kindle books are free or 99 cents or $1.99, so fairly cheap. But this one I got solely because of the author's name is my name. And that is June Reimagined by Rebecca Crane. It's even spelled correctly. So props to Rebecca Crane for having the correct way of spelling Rebecca. Anyway, this one says, from the writer who brought you the Irish romance The Upside of Falling Down comes a new novel about secrets, friendship, reinvention, and unexpected love in the Scottish Highlands. Oh, I haven't read that synopsis before, but anything in the Scottish Highlands catches my fancy. June Merriweather is on the run from her own life. Her brother is dead, her parents are liars, and her college major is a joke. Apart from her best friend Matt, June is desperate for reinvention, and one-way ticket out of Cincinnati to the Scottish Highlands is a good place to start. With a backpack, an urn, and a secret, June begins again. She snags a job at a cafe and finds lodging at a quaint inn with a quirky cast of housemates. The only problem, the inn's infuriatingly perceptive and sexy owner, Lennox. He's suspicious of June. After all, no one comes to Scotland in the winter unless they're running from something. From rocky start to sizzling temptation, June's new world is exhilarating, and one detour away from disaster. With her past and her future both vying for attention, June can't begin to picture where her reimagined life is headed next, and falling in love with the last person she expected is only the beginning. All of these sound so fun and delightful to read, and I don't know if you've heard, but I'm in a little bit of a reading slump, so maybe I need some of these fun romances in my life. Maybe I'll pick one up. We'll see. Okay, we're getting close to the end of my list. Next, we have The Vibrant Years by Sonali Dev. This one doesn't come out until December, I believe. It was on Amazon's First Choice picks. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get that option. Check it out. It's kind of cool. This one was chosen for Mindy Kaling's book award, book choice. I don't know. It's a new thing, but I love Mindy Kaling in The Office, and so I took her word for this book. Anyway, this one says, living on their own terms means being there for one another. When 65-year-old Bindu Desai inherits $1 million, she's astounded and horrified. The windfall threatens to expose a shameful mistake from her youth. On an impulse, Bindu quickly spends it on something unexpected, a condo in a posh retirement community in Florida. The impulsive decision blindsides Bindu's daughter-in-law, Allie. At 47, Allie still shares a home with Bindu even after her divorce from Bindu's son. But maybe this change is just the push Allie needs to fight for her own dreams. As Bindu and Allie navigate their new dynamic, Allie's daughter, Kali, is faced with losing the business that made her a tech world star. The only way to save it is to deliver a new idea to her investors, and they want the dating app she pitched them in a panic. Problem is, Kali has never been on a real date. Naturally, enlisting her single mother and grandmother to help her with the research is the answer. From USA Today bestselling author Sonali Dev comes a heartfelt novel about 3 generations of hilarious, unconventional, ambitious women who embark on a shared journey of self-discovery. Join the Desai women as they come together to embrace the hijinks and heartbreak of facing their greatest fears to finally live their most vibrant lives. That sounds really good. I love multi-generational sagas, and this one sounds like some great, strong women and a fun little adventure for them to figure out dating. And the last one I have to tell you about today is One Mistake by Rona Halsell. This one says, how far would you go to protect your happy home? Sarah made one promise to herself when she was growing up in foster care, that if she was lucky enough to have a family, she'd always do whatever it took to protect them. Looking around her home with its cozy kitchen and living room, where her energetic teenage daughters and gorgeous 4-year-old son all eat, play, and live together, she knows she'd do anything to keep them safe. So when Sarah's husband Matt loses his job and every shred of his confidence with it, she knows it's up to her to bring the family back from the brink, though she doesn't know where she can possibly find the money they need to keep afloat. Until her boss at work offers her a deal. He'll help out. She just has to do him one little favor. But could trusting him save Sarah's family, or will it be a mistake that costs her absolutely everything? This year's most gripping psychological thriller, perfect for fans of My Lovely Wife, The Girl on the Train, and Something in the Water. So this one I think was also on Amazon's first choice, or maybe in a BookBub email that was cheap. Either way, sounds like a good psychological thriller and about a mom who'd do anything for her family, which I could relate. I don't know if I would go to the extent of what Sarah would do, but I don't know what she is being offered. Anyway, okay, that's where we're ending. How many books is that? 16 new books that I'm adding to my shelves. 2 of them aren't actually mine, so 14 new books that I will keep, 2 that I will return to those owners someday. Anyway, those are the books I've hauled recently. Let me know down below in the comments if you have read any of them and what you thought of them. I'd love to have some conversation below with you. Like this video on your way out. Consider subscribing to my channel if you'd like to see more bookish and bullet journaling content from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!